How we doing? Merry Christmas, everybody. We're going over how we do our fish maintenance and our tank maintenance real quick, up and lower. As you can see, we're popping everything off real easy. We used to have hinges up there. Show them how the hinges would open. Trouble. You'd have to be able to swing it out, and imagine that all the time. And if you're working down below, you're hitting your head. But yeah, on each one we've got magnets. Wasn't bad to do. It was a real quick project. I know they still rust a little bit, just like the hinges do, but for maintenance purposes, we can change these in minutes. We did the same thing down there, as you can see. What did we put on there, Trouble?
It's chalkboard contact paper.
Chalkboard contact paper.
And it's used in conjunction with some neon chalk markers. Makes it easy to maintain what levels we're doing, any changes that are made.
It's just quick maintenance reference notes for us. As you can see, she's popping them all off. All right, let's get the other two off real quick. We got some more on there, some more levels for us. As you can see, all of the magnets. More importantly, the goodies. How clean is your sump? That's the real question we want to propose. How clean is your sump? We just did do a cleaning yesterday, but 99.9% of the time, this is how clean the reef sump is. We'll go over any questions and answers later on if you guys have them. We just wanted to go through real quick and show everybody how long it takes us to do our maintenance. And we're gonna change the mat, our dirty diapers. We're gonna get rid of those. The protein skimmer, she's got finally down tuned to a science. Oh my God, it's so nice. To foam or not to foam, that's not wet foam. But we did some of our own DIY sump stuff here, right, to save us some money. Everybody's obviously always looking for cutting corners. But overall, this is Trouble and On It. We've also got on the side, and Celsius, of course, because we're in Michigan, so
So we'll change it.
We run Celsius. Inside here is a real quick motherboard.
Because I hate cords everywhere.
Or OCD. See here, the wave maker. Questions, don't worry, just ask them, guys. Oh, here's the chocks we were telling you about. And they go up here on this one. This is where we keep more of the more important stuff we need every day. She's on top of her testing. Go. Okay, preparation's key. Preparation. We've got everything we need. The bucket of water and vinegar, right, that the dog should be not drinking. A new roll of toilet paper. A new roll. Two-sided tape for it. And in here, a bucket. You always need a bucket and a towel to get rid of shit. So, we're getting ready to show you how to take this out of the system real quick in minimal amount of time. I mean, obviously, it's gonna take a little bit of work. You wanna cut corners and clean more or less, that's on you. But we try to keep our sumps pretty clean. So the detritus that is down there from yesterday, that's how much adds up. And we do every Saturday, we do our cleanup on both of our sumps. Pod hotel, gotta have one. Pods. All right. Real simple, always just move everything out of your way. But if I put my phone down, I won't be able to take a video and they won't be able to watch us. No, that's because we like to ride. Put the phone down, especially when you drive.
Okay, so again, back to my OCD with the wires. I have to disconnect 2 wires in order to do the maintenance on this. They're already all bound up. All I have to do is drop and release them. And I don't have to worry about what they're tangled around because they're not. Always let it drain before you pull it out, otherwise you will have a huge mess.
Yep, big mess. But that's why you keep your towel there and your bucket there. Keeps everything going. All right.
Keep the water.
Out and get it ready to be cleaned.
This is a Klir7 for anyone that's wondering. It fits in any 7-inch filter sock hole that you have in your tank.
Look at that. That's why we call it the toilet paper, dirty diaper. They are awesome to have. I'll never not have one again in the tank. Just, you can sure see what it does. And you don't have to do a sock anymore. Socks are so...
This is the old roll. It's been in here for about 6 weeks.
Show them the new one right next to it.
This is the new roll. This one will look like that in 6 weeks.
That's a dirty brown eye.
And I don't have to wash anything. I just dump
Very
it.
smart to do. Take a garbage bag, drop it in there, you put the lid on top of it in between, and you take it out on garbage days.
Now that everything's taken apart, I'm going to drop this apart because as you can see, you get stuff kind of everywhere. There's a thumb screw underneath here, which will release the outer cage, just half of it. This is where my vinegar water comes into play. You're gonna get snails, limpets, everything else likes to live in here. But
All dead.
They can also be dangerous because they get caught in that roller mat and rip it.
Yeah, snails, yeah. There are positives and negatives to having it. You just have to be aware of your tank and pay attention to the noises that they make. And well, our tank's fully running right now, so hopefully you can't really hear it. It's only loud if you can because the doors are off. There's been nights where you wake up to it beeping because the roll just constantly goes and goes and goes, and then trouble's got to come through and fix it all. Missed a spot right there. You missed that spot. Yeah, do you keep critters in your sump also? They're just snailing around. I think they're actually gonna do it. Oh yeah. Snail porn. Not for the faint at heart. We do have our water levels for our sumps. This is the tube that keeps each chamber, each sump the same water level constantly.
Oh, they water bridge.
Water bridge, that's what she said. Water bridge for the win. You always have to have your little LED lights so you can see what's going on. You tell she's been scrubbing for about 3-4 minutes now. You gotta do a little bit of time and effort into it if you want to keep a clean sump, but it's worth it. What do you think, Trouble?
It's absolutely worth it because in the long run, there's less maintenance if you keep it clean.
Yeah. And the more you stay hands-on with your system, the more you start to see things before they become problems also. Maintenance is key. And our secondary sump, which is the one we bought, used to be a filter sock right there, but the cool feature on this one is it is incorporated to the same size as the filter sock was. So that was nice. Square object, round hole. Yeah, great concept, square object, round hole.
It works.
Yeah, go Grasshopper.
Don't argue with what works.
And this is the return from the leveler. when we had originally got this tank, I had the same pump on that side and this side as a return, but I really wasn't taking into consideration what every 90 does, and it really does make a difference if one is longer run than the other. But after headache and hours of research, I came up with either drill the two together from glass to acrylic, or we run a siphon that keeps the water level the same, as long as you don't have any air bubbles in there. But we figured a way around that, and we run the algae scrubber pump right here at the bottom of the tube, and it blows all the bubbles out. So we do that once a month or so. What do you think, Trouble?
Yeah, about once a month.
Once a month, and that stops it. This is a bleeder tube that will suck the air out if we wanted to do it that way also. But we have levels indicated in the yellow zip tie where we go for when we do water changes. Also, round and square, that is something they give you when you purchase it. So the circle fits in the sock size, which holds the base of the toilet paper roll up right there. And literally, she's been just using the bowl and wiping it down, and she's 99% done right now. We'll get back to it when we put the reel back on it, the toilet paper roll. Direction is very key.
Important. When you get a new roll, the end is taped together right here.
Here, get a better angle. There you go. There it is.
This piece of tape is technically supposed to be all you need to hold the two pieces together. I just get rid of it because it's not much use at all.
I wonder if we're just not using it right, but
I've tried it all kinds of ways. I still have to end up taping it. I do use it. I do use it to run the new roll through the roller mat, but once it's through, I don't use it anymore.
you might use it. We just don't. I don't see why you don't use it and then tape it.
It doesn't stay in place.
She's done it more than I have. I take her word for it. But just for argumentative sakes, I try using it.
So when the roller mat is in the tank, this side here faces towards where my water is coming down from the overflow.
Why this side?
Because this side doesn't have the sensor.
There you go. Doesn't have the sensor.
There is a water level
What's
sensor.
the sensor look like?
This little,
right here.
This guy right here is the sensor. If the water level is too high, it is splashing too much on the sensor, your roller mat will run continuously. And then you'll be trying to figure out why it's alarming nonstop. And it's because
You'll hear the alarm, trust me.
the little sensor is getting splashes and thinks that it needs to roll when it doesn't. So
It's loud.
always make sure
Was
that
it-
the sensor is facing away from where the water's coming into your roller mat at.
It always does it at like 4:10 in the morning, like right when you're at the perfect sleep.
We are ready to start reassembly.
All right, here we go.
So
And-
from your package, you're going to have your roll and a new roll here. This is the one that will connect to the motor. For here, you're going to save the roll that you took out of the last one.
Always save the roll.
Always save the gray roller. If not, you'll have to buy a new one.
They're expensive, like $15 for a piece of plastic toilet paper roll holder.
And then this was the part that was tricky at first, was figuring out how to get this to run. We have to go between this bar and the roller.
Go on the outside.
Then you come back to the inside and you're going to come down to the bottom. And this is where this piece of tape that they actually had comes in handy, because you're going to use it to get that to go down behind that roller. Make sure your mat is not curled or folded in any way, because that will cause a rip. You're going to come under the bottom of this one
You're staying on the outside the whole time of all the rollers.
At this point, you're on the outside of the rollers. Now you're going to come back to the inside of the unit. Bring this to the outside of this roller.
Outside again.
Little fingers help here.
And that tape that they gave you helps too,
And
I bet
that piece of tape helps. Again, outside of the roller.
Outside of the roller.
No.
Outside.
Now go to the other side. Now what I'm going to do,
take a piece of tape, double tape.
and you want to make sure that this is on here straight
Straight.
and centered.
It is very important. Because think about it, when it starts winding itself up, if it's off tilted or off centered, it's going to wedge.
Make sure you put, there is a hole in one end, but not in the other. The
Let me
hole
see.
that's in the end
Yep.
needs to face towards the side without the sensor.
Without the sensor, because you have to put the motor on something. I'm assuming that's where the motor goes.
Now,
Trouble.
yes. Now the motor has a D-shaped pin that
D.
will fit into this D-shaped hole. Just pop that in there. Now the next part is the motor only slides into the unit one way. So you cannot roll this roll. So the motor has to go in.
So the motor has to what?
The motor has to set into this. It only fits one way.
Oh, the groove.
It has to go into that groove.
Keep it centered. It's no joke.
Keep it centered because that will screw
Get it as
you
best
up.
you can. You gotta, you know. And always give it a little head start on the roll.
So I just get it just enough so that it's rolled under there.
Because you want it to keep it rolling. You don't want it to not roll. If that
Now,
makes sense.
The next part, you slide this piece back up. It's got some tracks that it locks on in there. See, there's a D shape there. It slides in. You gotta make sure it goes all the way up. Don't go part of the way, go all the way up. Then I'm gonna take my last outside track. It slides in here.
In the grooves, there's grooves on the inside for a gate, like a window. Slides up just like a
there.
window.
The thumb screw.
Underneath here, there is a set screw hole. Just real easy, nothing major. Hand tight.
Slides back. Yeah, don't screw it in too tight. The bottom.
There's only one of them, Trouble?
Yes.
Okay, so this side does not have one right here, see? The other side does. Is this the lid, right?
Yep, this is the lid.
Your sidewall goes down so it covers the toilet paper roll.
Make sure it doesn't pinch the toilet paper roll. If you don't have this tight enough, it will grab it and pinch it.
So you can see, we have touchdown, Captain.
Everything's back in place.
All right, now remember, we did a little slower just to show you guys, but it doesn't take long. You don't have to do this one as often. It lasts 2 to 3 months, depending
Depending on
your tank volume.
As the tank ages, the roller mat actually will last longer. You expect your first couple of rolls to last a month, maybe. Once your system seasons, you get 4, 6, 8, 10 weeks out of them.
And we use our refugium, our sumps, to house all of our bad fish. Everybody that's been bad has to go somewhere, and we don't throw them away. Once in a while, we'll trade them. We got a couple people that we've met awesome in the hobby, and we'll introduce you guys to them as long as they're willing. They do have facilities and stores, but whatever, not now. But this is the other side of our sump, and here we go, back to dropping it in real quick.
Helps with getting it back in.
Oh,
Depending on how
show them the hinge again.
depending on how tight your space is.
There you go. That's nice.
And then you just shuffle it on in there. Make sure it sets down.
Can you take it back out, put it back in real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something else in here anyhow, because I did that. Again,
sensors back there. Remember, keep the sensor away from splashing. Plug it back into the main power box up here.
You plug the sensor in first.
Sensor gets plugged in first, she said, so.
Otherwise the motor will start running for no good reason.
Start your toilet paper too early?
Yeah, it'll start running and then start alarming.
There you go. Tuck your wires back to how they were. All right, coming back. What do you want to do at this point, Trouble?
One last thing you want to do is make sure that your toilet paper is not hooked from the hinges. I open the lid back up and stick my arm in here. Grab where the fresh roll is at. Roll the toilet paper back tight. You can see the tautness right here. Make sure that this is all taut, nice and tight. Make sure that your other side is also tight. You don't see any loose toilet paper hanging. Pinch the lid, slide it back into its tracks. Now it's done.
This is our homemade algae scrubber that we made. We got some cool lights here, LED lights to grow the algae. I was skeptic on them. I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptic. Prove me wrong, they do. Our turbo snail loves it in here. He's been crawling along that bottom spot right there. You can see it's just clean right there. I believe that is it, eh, Trouble?
Yeah. And our algae scrubber is two-sided, so it may look
Yeah, it is
small for the
dual-sided.
side of the system, but because the lights are octopus armed and I can put them on both sides, I get double the algae growth of having a single-sided scrubber.
Twice as much volume to take out nitrates
And phosphates.
and phosphates. Algae scrubber, do it naturally. You don't need chemicals. See? Say goodbye, Trouble.
Bye.
No, I said goodbye, Trouble.
Goodbye, Trouble.
Hey, and thank you all for listening. Hope you have a good Christmas. Oh, I forgot. That's why we love these things. They're so easy. We forgot to put our notes on the board real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. That would do it. Everything goes up just as easy as it comes back down. No more hinged doors coming out. I'm telling you, it's the greatest. Sliced bread. And then, like we were saying with the noise, you heard it before. You keep it clean everywhere. Cord management 101. Keep it clean. You can't really hear it. All right. Almost forgot. We'll just call it that time, whatever.